All right, Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're talking about living your purpose, facing reality, and releasing negativity with Dr. Timothy Johnson and Canada's CPA, Josh Spurl.
Hey, Clay.
Hey, Dr. Tim, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Josh, good to see you.
Hey, Clay, how's it going?
Well, I'm doing very well. In fact, I'm super excited about this show. There's been quite a build-up. I've been wanting to do this show for quite a while. In fact, I've been really holding on to this show idea for quite a while. It's really been building up inside of me. And I'm just ready to let the success and the coaching and the mentorship flow. Well, guys, before we get started on the show, I've got to use the restroom real quick, and I'll be back in just a minute.
Hey, Spurl, I wonder how long it's going to be till he comes back.
Dr. Tim, I don't know.
I don't think he turned his mic off.
Hey, do you think Andrew's here? Maybe he can get
Andrew,
turn that mic off.
Turn the mic off.
Yeah, someone stop him. They're going to kick him off the airways.
This is definitely getting canceled.
Yeah. I can hear the unsubscribers now.
Spurl, where is Andrew? We've got to stop the show.
I don't know. Maybe if I hit one of these buttons, maybe something will do something. I'm not sure. There's so many of them.
What's up, guys?
Clay, you left your mic on. We heard everything.
Oh, the lavalier mic?
Yeah.
It's not good. Not good. But
you didn't wash your hands.
Now, without any further ado, we're going to interview today's guest, former NFL player turned motivational speaker, Trent Shelton, about the importance of facing reality, releasing negativity, and living your purpose now.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's show, we're interviewing the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who's going to teach you that the greatest you requires you to face reality, to release negativity, and to live your purpose. We have none other than my brother from another mother, Trent Shelton. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Clay. Thanks for having me on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Let's start off with the tough questions. Are you and I biologically related? I feel like we are. I just feel a certain kinship towards your entire motive. Are we related? Are we cousins?
We might be, man. We might have to check on that.
I'm going to look into. I'll spend 25 minutes after today's interview looking that up there. So, for the listeners out there that aren't familiar with your career and what you do, can you share with us what you do, how you make an income now? What's your job?
So, I guess if I had to put in the title, author, motivational speaker. So, what I do is, if you're on the internet, you probably see my videos, making content to inspire people, help people become the best version of themselves, travel around the world speaking, and right now writing books.
And I know that you don't define your life as a former NFL player, but I think the listeners out there might want to know that. Can you share with the listeners what teams you played for and kind of the extent of your career, just so they have a little bit of a background?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I played college at Baylor University. From Baylor, I went and spent a year with the Colts, and then I spent a year with Seattle and a year with Washington. My career was a very up and down career. It didn't go the way I wanted to go, but it was always a dream of mine to make it there, and made it happen.
What was the lowest part of your career and the highest part? We had Justin Forsett on the show. Great guy, a friend of mine. He's a great guy. And that guy, his career, he moved around so much and there's so much movement, changing teams, cities, moving the family, What was the high point and the low point for you in your NFL career?
So the high point had to be, it was actually a preseason game. It was my first game ever in the NFL. I was with the Colts, and we played Dallas. And it's funny because I knew some people on the radio, and I was on the radio. I was like, man, it'd be so cool if I scored here. I ended up scoring a touchdown with my parents there and all my friends watching. So I always said, that was I couldn't have scripted that any better. And then the lowest part had to be, of course, me getting cut multiple times. But I remember it was 2008, and I was actually in Dallas. I just got released from the Seahawks. And they called me. It was like a week later after they released me. They called me. It was like, hey, we want to bring you back. And I was like, well, I'm in Dallas. I got to drive to Fort Worth and get my stuff, so I might not make it. It's like, well, you got to make it tonight. So I rush home, and I'm telling everybody I'm going back to Seattle. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I get to the airport, and I get a 206 call, from a 206 number, which is Seattle. And they said, have you left yet? I'm like, nah, I haven't left. I'm about to get on the plane. It's like, well, don't get on the plane. We changed our mind. Some things happened, and we'll bring you back, whatever. So it was tough at that point. That's when I hit my lowest for sure.
When you were, running with the football and you got hit by somebody, did you ever say, ow? Or did you, talk to me about what it's like to get hit. What does that feel like? Did you go, oh, because it's a man's sport. Yeah. Tell me how that feels.
So as a receiver, it doesn't feel good, but I tell people all the time, the hits that you think hurt don't. It's always like the little tackles that you fall wrong, they end up hurting the worst.
Okay. So now you, after doing well in the NFL, you made it, you achieved your dream. That's really cool. A lot of people say, you could just, kind of hang out and talk about that, but you've decided to take, I would say you're taking your career to another level, to a higher level, doing this speaking thing. Tell us about what inspired you to write this new book, The Greatest You, Face Reality, Release Negativity, and Live Your Purpose.
Yeah, my pain, my struggle, me thinking my life was over at the NFL. And I know some people listening might not be sports, but it might be a job or relationship. And I thought, that was my everything. So if I lost that, what else do I have? And so this book was inspired, of course, by my journey, but I also want to write it for people out there that are going through those moments that I went through, that struggle, that pain, where they feel like there's nothing more to their life. And this book is literally going to help people turn their pain into their power and let them know that, you might have some bad chapters, but your story can still end well.
So chapter 1 of this book here, if we were to open, if we had the book in front of us, we open up the book here. It's titled, You'll Never Win Your Way by Running from Your Battles. What's this chapter all about?
Well, it's about, it's actually war. Never win your war by running from your battles. And it's about facing your reality. So many people run from it, right? We hide. I did, I masked it with drugs, with alcohol, with different things, with, just to run from the truth. And the thing about it is you'll never fix what you're not willing to face. And so I'm really pushing people, listen, it's not going to be easy, but nothing will ever get better if you don't face that thing that you're running from.
So you'll never win your war. Now talk to me about chapter 4, burning bridges. What is this book advocating that we set bridges on fire? What are we talking about?
Emotional bridges.
Okay, my bad.
People in your life, if you look at your life, every connection you have is a bridge, right? Every relationship you have, every friendship, you have to ask yourself an honest question. And that question is, where is this bridge leading me to? Is it leading me to a better me, the greatest you? Or is it leading me back to a lesser version of myself? And for my life, I had a lot of friends in my life that were there in the NFL, but when I got cut, they weren't there. And this is the thing about this chapter that a lot of people, I think, is going to help, because it's kind of easy to identify maybe bad people in your life. Yeah. But sometimes there's good people in your life, but aren't good for you and where you want to go. And it's really going to help people identify that.
That right there is good. I know personally, I don't expect you to do a bunch of research into me, but I know when I built my company, djconnection.com, but before I sold it, I started in my dorm room. We were doing 4,000 weddings a year. It's like 80 a weekend. It's crazy, And so that means there's all these DJs, there's 80 employees. It was big, And when I got to a place in my life where I recognized I'm making millions of dollars, but I'm surrounded by DJs or dudes who want to be DJs. I'm up at 2 a.m. every night, getting up at 7, 6 in the morning, work up till 2 every night. I'm DJing every New Year's, every holiday, every Christmas Eve, just DJing everywhere. Oh, man, just DJing. I got to a place where I realized these are good people, but I got to burn the bridges. I got to sell this business and go do something else, you know? And I've been doing something else. I've been, now my partner and I, we've built 13 multi-million-dollar different companies. We've done like a real estate company. He's an optometrist. We've got a haircut chain. I love it so much more. But I did have to cut out some good people. How do you advise we do that? Do you call people up and you're like, boop, 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 I'm out. Drop the mic. Or is it nice? Is it a text? Are you ghosting? Are you, what's the move?
So, there's obviously different ways you can do it. And I think it depends on the person. I think the most integrity would be letting that person know. And with my friends, like I say, it's nothing against you. I got love for you, but I give them the option. I'm like, this is where I'm going in my life. This is what I'm doing. I don't expect you to go with me, but if you want to, cool. But I can't continue to keep doing the same things. So I believe having that conversation, because I feel like honest communication helps certain situations like this.
Are you a married guy? Do you have kids?
Yeah, I'm married. I have 2 kids and 1 on the way.
Are you always this happy? I've looked at all your photos. You're always smiling. I don't see a lot of George Foreman kind of photos of you. You know, old school George. You're always smiling, having a good time. Have you always been kind of a cheerful guy?
Yeah, for sure. I'm more of an introverted, laid back guy for sure. But yeah, I just choose to see the beauty in life. I mean, I wasn't like that, of course, when I was going through my struggle. But now, I mean, you know, I look around and I see health, you know, in my family, and you know, I'm able to live my purpose, and so I feel like there's a lot to smile about for sure.
Do you when you got in the end zone, did you have a swagalicious dance move? Did you have a move? And how much time did you spend practicing that swagalicious dance move?
You know, I just kind of like, it was more of a confident thing. Like, you know, I might have lifted up my hands, kind of shook my head at the crowd, like, yeah, y'all know what just happened. But
yeah,
I didn't really do the OBJ type of thing, nothing like that.
Tell me, of all the guys you played with, who had the most swagalicious end zone dance moves, and who spent the most time preparing for being in the end zone because they went there often?
Man, who?
I mean, you guys.
I would have to say, probably Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his dance moves wasn't over the top. It wasn't like an Ocho Cinco or TO type of thing, but you know, he had his little dance that he did, and he was in the end zone a lot. So. As far as my 3 teams I played for, I would say that was it, because when I was with the Seahawks and the Redskins, we had bad teams, so we weren't in the end zone that much.
Now, when you played football, I want to ask this. I hate to ask 2-part questions because I know it makes it tough for guys like you because it's trying to sort both questions. But here we go. The coolest people that you've met in the NFL and then after the NFL. You know, your NFL. Do you have a few people you met where you go, that person was so diligent, such a high character person, just such a really great influence on you? And then who would be that same person now post NFL?
Yeah, so you know, one of the guys I just actually mentioned, Reggie Wayne, was a guy that I've always looked up to, you know, before I made it. And then once I got there, he was a guy that treated everybody, you know, as receivers, you know, took us under his wing, you know, spent time with us, and you know, showed us the ropes. And so I always appreciated him, you know, for that. So he's one guy that definitely stands out for me. And then after, it's a guy named Jonathan Evans. His dad is Dr. Tony Evans. Jonathan actually played with me at Baylor, and he played with me at Washington for a brief period of time. But he's a guy, actually is in my book, that has helped me so much just on this journey and made a lot of connections for me and really helped my speaking career for sure.
Now, Peyton Manning yelling Omaha all the time. Why was he yelling Omaha all the time? What's Omaha all about?
It's kind of a false call, really. I know it's either a check or a false call. I know at one point it was a check. We actually had a route called Omaha, but a lot of times it's just a false call where he's just Omaha, and he's basically if you ever see him shaking his hands, he's basically wiping the receivers off, and what that means is he's telling the receivers, I picked up the blitz, you don't have to run your hot routes.
Did you do you play chess? Do you play chess?
I used to be in a chess club. I haven't played in a while.
How old is your oldest kid?
10 years old.
Okay, I got some tough questions here for you. Do you ever play chess with maybe extended family? Do you do it now for fun sometimes?
No, I haven't played chess in so long.
Well, let me give you a new dirty chess move. This is what I do. My oldest daughter's 14, and I got 5 kids. Okay, this is dirty. It's a dirty move. I give it to you, one dad to another. I call it speed chess. And in the way that Peyton Manning can call Omaha and distract, I can call check at any time, whether you're in check or not, and I don't have to call check when you are in check. And it's a speed thing. So if you don't move in 10 seconds, then you lose a piece. And I am a master of disaster. I can beat 7-year-olds. I can beat 8-year-olds. I can beat 9-year-olds. I even beat a 14-year-old one time. It's awesome. Speed chess. You should try it, dude.
I'm going to put that in my back pocket for sure.
Yeah, it's a hot deal. Now, chapter 5 of your book, Digging Up the Bad Seeds. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so in our life, you know, even right now, you know, we've been influenced, right, by whether it's our parents, our society, whatever. And a lot of us have seeds that have been planted in us through conversations. And sometimes it's intentional seeds or unintentional seeds. Maybe it was a teacher that told you, you weren't going to be anything in life, and that seed was planted in you. I know when I was younger, I had a teacher tell me that, the NFL would never happen. And so every time failure showed itself on the football field, that seed, that reminder would pop up, and I would kind of lose faith in myself. And so it's about going back in your past, going back to your childhood, going back a few years and getting up all those bad seeds, those negative thoughts, those seeds people tried to plant in your life, and replace those with positive seeds.
Speaking of going back to your childhood, I've been looking at the photos of you. You're getting younger every year. What are you doing? You drinking fish oil?
Am
You
I?
eating a lot of kale? You're looking good. What's going on? Are you
Thank
trying
you, man.
trying
I
out
think
for a team tomorrow? What are you doing?
Man, actually, I'm just trying to stay in shape, man, and try to be the greatest me. I wrote the book, The Greatest You, so I got to live it and try to hold myself accountable to it.
Now, let's talk about your speaking career. Are you familiar with T.D. Jakes, the author, Pastor Man?
Yep, I am.
Okay, I listen to T.D. Jakes every morning, literally every morning. That's my move. So I have to ask you, when you speak, do you kind of bring a bravado and a swagaliciousness again, like Brother T.D. Jakes? Are you a little more reserved? Are you kind of like a Tony Dungy? Do you sound exactly like Ronald Reagan? Do you come out wearing a Trump wig? Do you look like Obama? Give us a little sample. What do you like?
Man, I come out as myself. I mean, what you see in the videos is how I come out.
Okay.
I'm not in a suit and tie. I'm comfortable. Whatever I want to wear that day, and I'm very passionate. Very, very passionate. So a lot of people, I guess real would be a word everybody would use, but I'm super transparent and I'm just super real on stage.
So there's somebody out there listening right now, and they need to hear a tough message from you. And you do a lot of talk. So a lot of people hire you to speak. And there's somebody out there listening who's just in a world of perpetual intending. Let me explain this. They start something. They start a business, and then they stop. They became an insurance agent, now they stop. They got a new girlfriend, now they stop. They want to be a good dad, now they stop. They just start and stop and start. And they're great people. They just are in that doom loop of feeling bad. They got cognitive dissonance everywhere because they're saying they're going to do something and they don't do it, and they're stuck in that doom loop. And help them move beyond frustrated, my friend. Give us the tough talk, and maybe pretend that we're in your audience. You can get as crazy as you want.
Yeah, well, so that person out there that is procrastinating, the thing that I would just, make a reality right now is that you're going to die one day. And this is something that I've always thought about in my life. Like, I don't want to go to my grave with incompletion, especially if you have kids, especially if you have somebody that depends on you. It's selfish not to be consistent. It's selfish not to step up to the plate. And as Les Brown says, the richest place in the world can't be found above ground. It's underground, the cemetery, because so many people go there with dreams, passions, talents, ideas that they never brought to the world. So at the end of the day, it's your life. If you want to live a life full of incompletion, a life full of inconsistency, all I ask is that if you do it, do not complain about your life. Don't get mad at other people. Don't try to bring down other people that's actually making it happen, because at the end of the day, it's on you and it all starts with you. So find a reason, find a why you have to stay committed, why you have to stay consistent, whether it's your mom, whether it's your brothers, your sisters, whatever it may be that keeps you going. And just fall in love with progression. I promise you, even the smallest steps are the most major steps in the journey. So keep moving forward. Let's get it. That's good.
I don't want you to hurt yourself by Googling me and having to look at me, but I've looked at you. I've Googled you. I've seen you. I'm like the palest man ever. I have reverse pigmentation. I'm like a solar panel somehow. I just glow, and I'm like the Casper, the friendly talk show host. And you apparently have a little bit of pigmentation. And there's people out there that are listening that are all different races, all different spaces, all different places, coming from different countries, so many listeners all over the world, 500,000 people listening all the time. And a lot of times people will say, Clay, how come you don't have more Asian guests on? And I'm like, okay, I've got 2 Asian clients I'm really good buddies with. I guess I haven't focused enough on the Asian, group. And then people said, Clay, all your mentors for a while are African American. How come you don't have anybody who can really, speak to the Asian group? Or there's all different races out there. But you are a minority. What advice would you give for somebody out there who is a minority, who is, having a hard time because of certain challenges that I can't relate to as the whitest host ever?
I would tell you this: don't let anybody put you in a box, period. I know that battle with being a speaker. I'm not just African American. I'm an urban African American. So I have tattoos, I have dreadlocks, and I'm not the typical motivational speaker. And when I first started, people told me to change this and dress like this, and you should talk like this and be more proper. But I just was myself. We live in a time in social media, literally, you don't need the higher ups anymore. They won't let you in the building. You can build your own building. It will take longer. But when you build your own audience, then those same people that won't let you in will be begging you to come in. So just believe in yourself, know that you're enough, and you will have to face challenges. And every single day that you get a chance, break the stereotype, and let people know that despite your color, despite how you look, having tattoos, whatever box people try to put you in, just make sure you never fit in that box and change their mind forever.
If there's someone out there listening right now, and they want to book you, they want to hire you, they want to bring you into their company. What companies have you spoke to in the past, and how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so so many companies. NFL teams, Dallas Cowboys.
Cool.
College, Baylor.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you speak to corporate? Stitcher?
Yeah. I'm actually speaking there in a minute.
Google?
Like next week. Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of corporations too. I mean, I just can't name.
No. I'm sorry to paint you into a corner there, but how do people book you?
A lot. I have to say no way more than I say yes, because I don't want to be away from my family. So, I mean, I'm booked up all the time.
So if I want to book you right now, or someone wants to book you, what website do they have to go to
just
book
go
you?
to TrentShelton.com, and it'll be a form right there you can fill out.
Final 2 questions, and I'll let you go. 60 seconds. Here we go. Ricky Schroeder, the hit show Silver Spoons. What's your opinion on that show, or do you know what that show is? I asked the
guests. I have no idea what that show is.
That you see, everyone says that, and it's good. I now hold you in a higher regard because you don't know about that show. It's a truly terrible show. It was out in like the 70s, 80s. I keep asking all of our guests. So I'm trying to bring sexy back. I'm trying to bring back Ricky Schroeder, the hit star from that show, back, and it's not working. It's like pushing the ball uphill. Okay, my final question here is if I'm out there today and I've listened to this, and what's the action step you want me to take? What's the one thing I need to do?
Take responsibility over your life. Just realize it starts with you. And I would tell you to go get my book, The Greatest You. And I think once you read this book or listen to it, even better, because I'm actually, narrating the whole book. I know that it will create some change or ideas in your life that will help your life.
Well, I'm buying the book right now for $17.49, and I'm going to do it because right now there's 252 objective 5-star reviews, and I'm going to be 253. So, Andrew, I need you to buy this book. I need you to leave a review right now about this great interview with this great guy. And thank you for putting up with me, man. Hope you had a good time.
Man, I had a great time, and I appreciate you, brother.
You're great. All right, let's just say that you're out there listening today, and you have a website for your business. The question I would have for you is, are you getting the most number of leads possible? Are you ranking high? Wow.
Touching the canvas.
Can't feel my face. Or are you ranking
low
in the Google search engine results? Again, I ask, are you ranking high? Or are you ranking low on the Google search engine search results? Take a moment today and do a Google search for the keywords that you want to come up top for and see where you are ranking. And if your website is not generating enough leads and business for your company, I would encourage you to request a free search engine optimization 37-point website audit today. Again, a free 37-point website audit can be yours today. Whoa. All right, Thrive Nation, it's a conference week. We just had a conference this past weekend, and so we have some great people in town. We have Josh Spurl, a CPA from Canada, and we have Dr. Timothy Johnson here from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Josh Spurl, how in the heck are you?
Doing pretty good, Clay. Yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well here. We're not broadcasting from the Man Cave studios as normal, so we got a little bit of background noise there to contend with, but we're here. And I wanted to see if you could share with the Thrive Nation approximately how long you and I have been working together and how that's impacted the number of inbound leads that you're generating as a result of your Google search engine ranking and internet marketing.
Well, we've been working together, Clay, now for almost a year. It was about a year ago I came out to my first conference, and then we started with the coaching program shortly after that. And, our Google leads have gone from, something that we would generate, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 leads a year to, we're talking about 3 to 9 leads every single week.
And I think that you now are the highest ranked certified public accounting office or accounting practice in all of Edmonton, Canada. Am I correct?
Yeah. So we started out, thinking about, you told us we got to get the 40 reviews, and I thought you're crazy, but we got the 40 reviews, and then we took a look around, and the highest person in our city was just over 100, and we beat them, and then we took a look around, and there was only one guy ahead of us in Canada, so we reached out, and now we're the highest and most reviewed CPA firm in Canada.
Now, I need to resolve in my mind what happened, because When we first met you, I know you had an airplane ticket booked to fly from Edmonton to, I think, Minneapolis, and then from Minneapolis to St. Louis, and from St. Louis to Tulsa, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the flight somehow got delayed or canceled, and so you drove from Minneapolis to Tulsa. And did you have a good experience at the workshop?
It was a great experience. I showed up looking like a homeless person. I forgot my luggage, and Andrew was nice, and he showed me my seat anyways, so which was comforting.
Well, the listeners out there, they want to verify that you're real. What is your web address?
My web address would be www.spurl, SPURRELL.ca.
So after going to a workshop, having a good experience, why did you think, because everyone tells me, they say, I thought you were crazy. Now, I used to wear a suit, and when I wore a suit, people still said the same thing. So why did you think that we were crazy when I was just obsessing about writing content every week and getting Google reviews? Why did you think I was nuts?
Oh, no, I believed it was the right thing. I just thought the ability to actually get 40 reviews would be difficult. We're a specialized CPA firm. We only work with 100 households at a time. So getting 40 reviews seemed like a challenge, but then I realized it's a real possibility. You just got to be diligent on it.
Did you find that you had to ask a lot of people to get yeses?
You had to ask them and ask them and ask them again. I think one of our latest reviews was a client, and I've been his accountant for over a decade, and I was asking him pretty much every month in our monthly meetings, and I think it took until the last month before I came to this conference where he finally left us a review.
Well, if you are out there today and you Google search Thrive Time Show and then the word Jinx, you'll see that we used to have 605 reviews as of the time of this recording, and now we have 603. And you're going to find over time that Google will audit the reviews, and if a review seems contrived, or maybe if the person who's written a review for you hasn't written a review for any other company beyond yours, Google will remove it. Or what I run into a lot with my business is that a lot of our coaching clients end up becoming service providers for us. So as an example, there was a t-shirt vendor we worked with last year that came to the conference and loved us and left us a great review. Well, then we started working with them, right? And so we left them a review because they did a great job. And then other people, then Google audits it and goes, wait a minute, it looked like their reviews swapped. So there's all different things Google looks for to kind of look for fishy stuff. But you've stayed the course. How many Google reviews do you now have?
I believe as of today we have 263, I believe.
So you have 263 objective Google reviews, 263 objective Google reviews at Spurl CPA in Canada. Think about that. 260 objective Google reviews. How many pages of content have you written? Because you do video, and then we transcribe that for you. How many pages have you done?
Yeah, we've probably done about 120 videos right now.
120 videos. So the 120 videos, you're topping Google. And again, the investment of your time has been how much, do you think? How much time have you invested in this process?
Usually I can get videos out in about 8 hours. I can do about 8 videos now if I batch them together.
And I was told, when you and I talked a few months ago, my understanding is one of your goals was to get your income level up to a certain point and to buy a Raptor, a Ford Raptor.
That's right, yeah.
Did you buy the Raptor?
We bought the Raptor in cash
the
bank, and it's the video of us walking into the bank and trying to withdraw the $87,000 in cash is coming out on the YouTube channel as well.
So you bought a Raptor, a large truck, cash. You bought a house.
That's right.
You're having more time freedom, more financial freedom than ever before. What advice would you give anybody out there on the other side of this audio testimonial? What advice would you give for? Because we have about 500,000 people that listen to our podcast every single month. What advice would you give them directly?
That they're probably underestimating the value of Google reviews and content on their website. And one of the things that's also taught at the conference is the value of the group interview. How much time you're spending on recruiting and maintaining the best team. You can gain that time back and use that time instead to get Google reviews and do more content.
If you want to get an audit of your website, a 37-point audit of your website, email us today for free at info@thrivetimeshow.com. That's email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. And we're going to take about an hour to 2 hours, depending upon the size of your site. And we're going to do an in-depth audit of your website. Why? Because 90% of the time, you've got a lot of problems with your website, and we know how to fix it, and you probably don't. And there's only 3 SEO companies in the world that I would respect, honestly. One that so far is SEO Inc., SEOinc.com, great company owned by Gary Grant. The second one there is Bruce Clay. It's bruceclay.com. He writes Search Engine for Dummies every year. And then my firm, makeyourlifeepic.com, which provides all the back-end support for the Thrive coaching. So if you're out there on the video platform, that's Thrive. If you're listening to the podcast, that's the Thrive Time Show. And if you're looking for that actual application, that's what Make Your Life Epic has been doing since 2008. And it's just, could you explain maybe the return on investment of having coaching and search engine optimization help there from your perspective there, Captain Spurl?
Oh, I would think it's really a no-brainer in terms of, you know, the types of business decisions that we're making and the costs involved and all. You know, we're just generating far more in excess. It's really not even been a question because it's so far out ahead.
If you were to pay somebody in Canada, what's the minimum wage in Canada?
Unfortunately, the minimum wage in our province right now is $15 an hour, the highest in the country.
So if it's $15 an hour, in America, the minimum wage, I'm just making up an example, but in America, if you paid someone $10 an hour, you're an accountant, so help me out here. If you pay them $10 an hour for 40 hours a week, and then they work 4.3 weeks a month, you know, on average, that's $1,720. Now, in America, we got to add on taxes.
Yeah.
Dr. Tim Johnson, have you noticed that we have to add on payroll taxes and various other costs on top of just the flat $10 an hour?
Yeah, you got the health insurance.
Health insurance, benefits, office space, manager, to hold them accountable. I would say that minimum, if you have a $10 per hour employee in America today, it's going to cost you about $2,300 a month to employ that person. And that's why our program is $1,700 a month. It is less than even one $10 per hour employee. And Dr. Tim, I'm sorry that this microphone is so sensitive. You'll have to just eat that microphone with a spirituality the world has never seen before. Talk to us about the name of your business, where you're located, and how you first heard about us.
Yeah, so I'm at Southern Eye Consultants. It's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We heard about you on the podcast, and I had a lot of trepidation at first about getting involved, just making sure it was legit. But all my expectations have been exceeded.
What concerns did you have about our legitness or lack thereof?
I was just concerned about back-end upselling, what I was getting into.
That's what I found. My entire career,
Yeah.
I had been. Had you guys been to, Dr. Tim? Had you been to other workshops or had other industry coaching before? Because I had hired a lot of them, frankly, and I just found I spent. I would be lying if I said hundreds of thousands. It's been more than that.
Oh, we hired somebody to do our website right before we found you.
Yeah,
And it was 3 or 4 months of your coaching service, and we still haven't launched that website yet.
oh, beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. So if somebody out there's thinking about filling out the form, if someone's thinking about emailing us to info@thrivetimeshow.com, that's info@thrivetimeshow.com, and they have a little bit of hesitation, just a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit of, what advice would you have for them, Dr. Tim?
First of all, come to one of the conferences. You'll see that he may dress like Bill Belichick, but my wife's a Pats fan, so that was a real selling point.
Nice.
She thought you were a hobo, but I said, no, he's just Bill Belichick. She goes, okay, you can go.
Nice.
But it's also month to month, so try it, and if you don't like it, cancel.
That deserves a mega point. So again, where has your sales gone up? Have you increased your sales? I mean, where's your financial? I'm not asking for the hard number here, but as a percentage, how much are you up since you started with the program? 4 months ago versus now?
Our sales have gone up 20%. We're looking to scale Southern Eye Consultants, and just the number of patients who come in because they found us on Google has gone up a lot. I text you once a week. You paid for yourself just in somebody walking in. So.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Again, if you're out there today and you feel stuck, just email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Info@thrivetimeshow.com. Let us begin to do a deep dive analysis on your website. We'll tell you what's wrong with it. We're going to do a 37-point audit of your website. Our member of our team will call you. They'll go over it with you. They'll break it down. You'll understand what you need to do to improve. I'll give you the final words here, guys. So start with you, Captain Spurl, Josh Spurl, CPA. As Captain Canada and as a man who's been to 2 workshops now, we got an audience, picture 500,000 people listening here. What is the advice that you would tell them?
I think they got to come out to a workshop. You know, it's the best one that I've ever seen. You know, I find that most of the workshops I've been to, you're sitting around all day for one good idea, and you're getting a good idea every single hour at these workshops.
Dr. Tim, what is the word of encouragement, maybe discouragement, maybe the motivation, maybe the verbal tasering? What advice would you give for the listeners out there today?
I'd say the worst idea you can do is not starting now. Just call and start now, and you'll be better off for it.
You heard them right there. Thrive Nation, go to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Allow us to do a free 37-point analysis of your website. We'll tell you what's wrong. We'll tell you how to fix it. If you're not ranking high enough in those Google search engine results, it will literally cost your company millions and millions and millions of dollars. But don't take my word for it. Go to thrivetimeshow.com and click on the testimonials button. And as of the time of this recording, we have over 1,000 video reviews from my clients I've had from 2008 up until now, from conference attendees. You're just an email away from becoming a game-changing success story. Email us today at info@thrivetimeshow.com. And we like to end every show and every shameless testimonial session with a boom. And so now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom.